be okay. This ain't your lucky day, huh?
This is my Ice Blast Cold Domination Corruptor, Tsarina. I've been in a wintry mood because I am sick to death of summer. And that brings us to our word of the day, which is chianophile, is an organism that survives and thrives in cold, wintry conditions. That's me. Before I do enhancements, let's get the important question out of the way. Mr. Wicked asks, is the iguanodon your favorite dinosaur? If so, why? I don't know that I have a favorite dinosaur, but I love saying the word biguanodon. It's right up there with Dimetrodon, which, fun fact, was not a dinosaur. It's a snapsid. It's like more related to mammals. Siloxen? Is there any AT with certain power sets that you found really fun to level up slowly while sowing story arcs to learn more about the lore of City of Heroes or City Villains? Gold side, perhaps? But great question. It's been a while since I've leveled up anything, the old-fashioned way. But then I realized that I do actually have an answer to this question, and it is yes. The last character that I did that was a scrapper shield defense with martial arts, and that is just a really satisfying combo. And I leveled her up, outside of the AE farms. Counter question. Is there any interest in maybe a series of videos where I'm just leveling up the old school way? No start vendor, no XP buffs. Just going through story arcs, reading the tips and the mission text. Any interest in that? If so, let me know. That could be something that we do. When I first started on Homecoming, back when it became available publicly, I first landed on Excelsior, and that's where I created or recreated my main character from the before times. I was from the Justice server. And I think that's where a lot of the Justice people landed, on Excelsior. So I recreated my character, Taxa, who's a radiation defender. But very quickly I wound up playing on Everlasting and made just an absolute ton of characters over there, where I continue to make tons of characters. But I did not snag the name Taxa on Everlasting. I only have it on Excelsior. So my thought was, if there is any sort of appetite for a series of videos of just going through the story arcs solo, I would probably be doing Task Force here and there. But, I could jump into that old character that has my namesake, and use that character as an old school leveling experience. Just story arcs and reading mission text, and not giving myself influence from my other characters, so that I have to buy my enhancements with whatever influence I can scrounge up. Just sort of raw dogging City of Heroes. Let me know. Let's get into enhancements. Not finding this is a great build, but it is her build. Freezer A. I went with 4 Thunder Strikes, and right now I just got a couple holds I'm not sure what else I would replace those with. Ice Storm. I'm using the Corruptor Scourging Blast. Bitter Ice Blast. I am using the other Corruptor set, Superior Malice of the Corruptor. Bitter Freeze Ray. I don't love how long this power takes to activate, but I wanted to lean into the freezing aspect. So I went, again, 4 Thunder Strikes and 2 holds. Blizzard. Please ignore the non-uniformity of these enhancements. Blizzard has a 6-piece of Positron's Blast. AIM has the Gaussian's Synchronized Fire Control, chance for buildup, and then a couple Rectified Reticle. Infrigerate, just a few impeded swiftness and accuracy because somebody was flipping these and I could not get the last one for a reasonable price. So, fuck that guy, whoever you are. Ice Shield, Luck of the Gambler, the Global Recharge, and then defense endurance. Snowstorm, just endurance reduction. Glacial Shield, another set of Luck of the Gamblers. Frostwork, preventive medicine. Arctic Fog, for Unbreakable Guards. The Gladiator's Armor, unique. And the Steadfast Protection, unique. Benumb. This is a weird power because I don't think there's any sets that you can slot in this, so it's getting an accuracy into recharge. Sleet is just 6 bombardment. Heat loss, 6 preemptive optimizations. Health and stamina, standard issue, just the usual procs. However, Luck of the Gambler, recharge, and the Shield Wall unique. Couple recharge and hasten. Frozen Armor. Again, this is supposed to be a 3-piece, but I don't have the last one. Hoarfrost, prevented medicine, 6-piece. Build up. Rectified Reticle, 2-piece. Maneuvers, 3 Luck of the Gamblers. An Assault. Endurance reduction. If you haven't played Cold Domination, this is kind of an old character from back when I was on Justice. I kind of like Cold Domination, but I compare everything to radiation emission, and in some ways it just kind of falls short for me. For one, you've got a few of these powers that have no benefit for yourself, and I'm selfish. But the ice shields, I guess are popular. If you haven't done Cold Domination before, you start out with just a single target Infrigerate, which single target slow, recharge, debuff. Ice Shield is just a defense shield that you apply to your teammates. Snowstorm does speed and recharge debuff, and it can bring down flyers, which is kind of nice. I use it mostly for pulling enemies around corners. And kind of dragging them, into my trap. And the slow stacks very nicely with some of my other powers. Frostwork just increases the hit point pool of your target, and I guess it does a little bit of toxic resistance, but you're mainly just using it to increase the size of someone's health pool. Arctic Fog is a stealth power. It's a stealth AoE, applies stealth to, everyone around you. And it gives you resistance to fire, cold, and energy, and it gives you defense. Benumb is again, a single target debuff that does negative damage, negative endurance, negative regeneration, and negative special, which I think is it debuffs control powers, I guess. Does a 2-hit debuff, damage debuff, pretty good regeneration debuff, only for 30 seconds for all this. And it's, I'm kind of a long cooldown, which just seems weird to me because it's single target and requires a 2-hit check. Sleet, also kind of the bread and butter power of the set. This is, it's basically freezing rain in another form. This is, negative defense, negative resistance. It's doing knockdown. It's doing a minor amount of damage. It's debuffing speed. It's debuffing recharge. Great power. This is one of the powers that everyone wants you for. Heat loss. Many people consider this to be, the main thing, the main feature. I struggle with the fact that, again, the recharge for this power is so long. It seems ridiculously long for what you're getting. It is a good power. It does an endurance debuff. It does resistance debuff. And it grants endurance and recovery to your teammates that are around the enemy that you hit with this. The problem is, late game, a lot of people have solved their endurance problems. So I think it's mostly the resistance that you're after. Only lasts for 30 seconds. And it's got a long recharge. So it's nice when you can use it. But all this, sleet works really well with my Ice Storm and my Blizzard because, it's doing knockdown and slow, and then these are sort of causing Terrorize, and Blizzard actually does an accuracy debuff too, and more knockdown. Oh, and I guess before we start, I'll get to another question. Matt Coffee is on. My coffee's on. Can you explain pool and the location AoEs that you said that was in the Marine Affinity video? Yeah, I think this is actually maybe helpful for some people. I don't know if I went into it in that video. So I've got the same thing going on where I have macro is to cast my Sleet and my Ice Storm and my Blizzard at my target's location. And the way that this works, if you've never used it, let's do this real quick. You type in / macro, and then whatever you want to call the button, but the button can only hold 3 to 4 characters. I think we can just, we can kind of fit Sleet. So macro of Sleet, and then POW exec location, and then target. You could also put self if you wanted the power to just come down where you are, but I want it to go down where my target is. So POW exec location target, and then the name of the power. In this case, it's Sleep. And I need to do the other ones, so I'm going to go back into chat and hit up arrow to bring back the last thing that I typed. I'm going to change this to ice, and I'm going to change the power that it's calling to Ice Storm. That should do my Ice Storm, and we'll repeat this one more time. I'm going to make a button called Blizz. Oh my god, please. And I'm going to change the power to Blizzard. That's how that works. And you'll see, this can actually target things. Like you can use it around corners and behind walls, which is really nice. Let's get into it. And want to get like a boss. Or a boss. Okay, we'll get a lieutenant. And I'm just trying to get them to come over into a trap. Oh, I messed that up. I messed that up bad. He wasn't even here. But we lived, so go Team Venture. Let's get, we're gonna try this again. I am not a pro, in case you could not tell. I barely know what I'm doing. We're gonna use our toggle to drag him somewhere that's a little less exposed. Instead of our toggle, but our snowstorm. I'm also forgetting to use my build-up in aim, which is very on brand for me. Okay, Clarium is ready to... Where can I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Oh, Thurio. Oh, I didn't even go into the Incarnate stuff. I'm just doing cardiac, degenerative interface, and cryonic because of theme. It's not great, but you know, theme comes before everything else. Clarion, I think, is sort of essential. And then, who gives a shit about lore? Hybrid, is support. And this, I love having the stealth, so you can kind of like fly around and figure out where you wanna go. I think what I'd like to do... Oh, hello. This is maybe a bad idea. Strike Point asks, what's your inspiration for designing your characters? Do you start with power sets, all you want to try, and then design the tune around that, or do you have an idea for a costume and work the power set into it? For me, the character concept, it's kind of like the most important thing. I've got characters, where I want to try, like Stalker. I heard that kinetic melee was actually good on Stalker, so I wanted to try a kinetic melee Stalker, and the character's made, and I like her costume. It's fine. But I don't love the character. I don't have any idea behind the character other than that I was going to try kinetic melee. And that character has just been languishing at like level 20 since forever. I don't touch it. And that's the thing. I just need to have some kind of idea behind the character to help me fall in love with it. And then I'll level up the character. I love Lady Nightstar. On Everlasting, like, she's my main. She is
my best friend. He's my pal. He's my homeboy, my rotten soldier. He's my sweet cheese, my good time boy.
My main character. I was just really happy with the costume. And the color sets and just the general vibe that she has. So I think you can cast these from behind walls, which is amazing. Okay, that was only slightly embarrassing. I wish I had more opportunities to play Lady Nightstar. My alcoholism has really taken root, and I don't know, I think at some point I gotta settle down. Racktech writes, what do you do to gain influence for all these characters? Do you farm? Do you play the auction house game? I don't play the auction house game. But I do farm. And it's just a Spine's Fire. I learned about dual boxing back in my Star Wars Galaxies days. I think calling it dual boxing is kind of a misnomer at this point. It's an anachronism because it's not two computers. It's just two instances of the same game playing on one computer. That's a good question, and I think that should get its own video. Brian Allison is wondering if I can make a necromancy mastermind farmer. If masterminds can do fire farming, that is news to me. And would indicate an area that I just don't know anything about. Is that a thing? Do masterminds do farming? If someone knows the answer to that question, please let me know. I haven't done Mastermind since I played the Justice in the Before Times. I was Mercenaries, Trick Arrow, which I think has gotten some buffs, but at the time it was really lackluster. And overall, it was just a really bad experience. I haven't touched Masterminds since. And I don't like micromanaging pets. I think some people do like that. It appeals to them, but I don't think it's for me. Well, that went better. Maybe opening with Blizzard was the move all along. Oh, I do have a couple of more questions. So, Rob Evington asks, do you use the star rating system when you play? Give star to people that you group with a lot? So, I have a periphery awareness that there is a kind of star system rating in the game. I have a friend who will occasionally share pictures of the notes and the ratings that she gives to players that she teams with. But I have never used it. I don't know. Well, maybe this can be a learning moment for me. Let's go to Pocket D, where I can find some people. You're just a bot. So if I were a rave system, I would be under info. No. You're not there. I'll add note. No shit. 1 star. You are a bot. So I don't actually mean this to whoever as this character. I'm just trying it. See, it needs to appear, right? Like 5 stars. Five stars. It disappear. Why doesn't it appear for that person? Oh, this is so helpful. Oh, you are not. I feel like no stars is better than 1 star. Oh, wait, hold on. Known global names. How does that work? Oh, and it gives me their global name. Wait, hold on. I have to test something. I'm going to launch my other account. This is my farmer. Spicy porcupine. She's absolutely adorable. How does it know? Well, obviously you're a 5-star queen. That's fascinating. And I'm glad you asked this question, because it prompted me to look into it. Bye, Spicy. Mr. Spasms asks, what do you think is the best or most useful support build for starting out? Or any kind of general tips? I've just been trying out all the powers. I've gotten to 29. He's been doing like DFB and mothership raids. Yeah, those are fine. You know, you can do the story arcs from contacts if you want. You know, not everyone's into it. But yeah, those are good ways to level up if you're not doing farming. If you're not a filthy power leveler. As far as support builds go, you know, I tend to like the power sets that work for both me and my teammates. So again, radiation emission, I was really big on. Dark miasma, also a fan. I don't know that I would recommend storm summoning to just anyone. I would need to know how you like to play first, because that is a very particular set. Those power sets, you know, radiation, dark, they lend themselves to both solo and team play, more so than, you know, some of the other sets like empathy and bubbles and force field. And not that you can't solo with those, but you know, it is what it is. You know, also keep an eye out in chat. There may be a channel on whatever server that you're on. You can edit your tabs, and you can join channels. There's actually a search for channels. So on my server, there's everlasting TFs, and you know, people will announce, you know, and they're looking to add people to their group or to a league. So just be on a lookout at your server. You might have to go to the forums or something, or just, you know, use this search tool to try to find channels that have active people. Or you can be proactive and form groups yourself. You know, the task forces and strike forces in the early levels, like, they don't require a lot of experience. You know, they're pretty simple. It's just like a bunch of pretty much regular missions, and then one mission at the end where you fight a tough enemy. That's about it. And those are always good experience. Thanks for the questions. I never imagined myself doing an AMA on YouTube, but, you know, here we are. Maybe we'll just keep it rolling. If you have a question that you want in the next video, you know, just post it. Okay, bye. Like, I don't think that I've done Sai.
Oh, go back. Can you go back? What about Titan Weapon?
Titan weapon?
Have you done that one?
Oh, wait. Wait, you mean emotional support dildo?
Dildo? Oh my god.